You need to dream bigger, and you need to believe it's possible. Your life is 100% up to you.
I hate the word budget. It's limiting. I hate being limited. I want to create wealth. Welcome back to the Jared Briggs Show. I hope you guys are having the best day. We are going to have another conversation about money, what it takes to win with money, and what is money, how does money work, and what to do with money. Like, those are the questions, right? I've really enjoyed creating these episodes as I've been working with Austin to have better editing and get this published out there. And I've gotten some good feedback. So I appreciate all of you that have listened, that have shared this and given me feedback. I really appreciate that. I got another Reddit question. And this question comes from a conversation that I just had, but then I also seen it on here. And I'm like, how about we answer all of these questions all together, all at the same time? So I want to talk about the topic of paying yourself first. And what I mean by that is I really want you guys to think of this perspective. Let's say you get paid $5,000 a month and you have a rent that's $1,500 or your whole mortgage or whatever it is, car payments, all the expenses that you have. When you look at that, you are literally paying everybody else. You're paying the bank or the mortgage place or the landlord. You're paying the bank for your car payments. You're paying your phone company, the utility companies, groceries, gas. You are literally getting paid and giving that money to everybody else. How much of that money are you saving for yourself? How much of that are you paying to yourself? If you really look at that perspective, you are literally working every single day. Let's say you work 8 hours a day and giving all the money to somebody else. So this topic, pay yourself first, is a secret of creating wealth, creating financial freedom, creating financial abundance, creating whatever it is that your financial goals are. There is a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. Get it on Audible, get it on whatever app you like to use, listen to it or download it and read it. My favorite version, there's one that has a lot of green on the front cover. Buy that one. If you go on Amazon or something, there's a lot of different colors of that book. The green book is the most basic, simple one. Go on and read that book. And this concept of pay yourself first is what created the richest man in Babylon. It's a really, really cool story. Back in the ancient times of Babylon, it's an incredible story. Those principles are true. They're real. They work. So I'm going to talk about this with Reddit real quick, and then I'm going to talk about a conversation that I had. Okay, so this gentleman here, pretty sure it's a gentleman, pretty sure he said that. He says, I mentally cannot save money, and it is destroying my life. Does anyone have any advice? He says, luckily, I have zero debt. He's been working for 6 years. He's like, I should have $100,000 saved up, but I don't. And his monthly income is around $1,700, but he only has rent, which is $800 a month, a phone bill that is $45 a month. I mean, he says he doesn't have any other expenses. He doesn't have a car. He uses a bike. So pretty simple, right? So, I mean, there's plenty of money there for him to save. But he goes on and talks about how it's mentally draining. He sees other people that are saving money and doing a lot better financially, and he just doesn't know what to do. I'm going to read the comment that I put on here on Reddit. You guys, Reddit's pretty cool. I said, read the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. I'll give you a summary. Why do you work every day to pay everyone else? You pay your landlord and the phone company, but you don't pay yourself. Pay yourself first. This is the mindset shift I see you need. Start looking at it as paying yourself and investing into your future instead of just saving. Saving is not that fun. I mean, let's be honest, you guys. There's a lot of cool things out there to buy. There's new phones, there's new watches, there's new vehicles, there's new restaurants, there's the coffee shops, there's these drinks, there's all kinds of cool things. Like, you could literally buy something cool to buy every single day. It's the cool part about living in America where we live. Like, capitalism is strong and healthy. People are creating businesses and opportunities and things to buy and new tools and gadgets and all these different things. It's really, really freaking cool. And so from his perspective, he's like, I just spend everything. I spend everything that I make. Yeah, because you're caught up in this shiny object syndrome. You're just out there buying things. And who wants to save money? Like, if you really don't have a purpose for what you're saving for, it's not inspiring or motivational at all. But if you have this dream inside of you of, oh man, I really want to own my house. I really want to buy this dream car that's $62,000. I want to buy this truck. I want to buy or go on this type of vacation or be able to do this or afford this lifestyle. Like you have things you're working towards. You have things you're interested in. You have things that are motivating and inspiring. That is so much more fun, right? So what is the purpose that you're saving for? Because saving to save is never going to create wealth. Saving to save, to have access to money, something's always going to come up. Your friends are always going to call and they're going to want to go out. You're always going to want to go do something or be a part of something or go see a game or buy that next thing on the app or your phone or whatever, right? Something's always going to come up. But when you have goals, when you have visions, when you have dreams and things that you want to accomplish and something comes up, you can literally say, okay, if I purchase this, does this help me towards my goals and my dreams and who it is that I want to be and the life that I want to live? Or does this take me away from? You see, and there's a lot of situations where I've spent money. I bought a dirt bike back in 2021. And I literally looked at that and I was like, is this a stupid purchase? Is this not a good investment? I bought that bike and went and started riding it. And it was really fun. I had never had a dirt bike. I really wanted a dirt bike. So I went and bought the dirt bike. And it inspired me to work harder. It inspired me to be smarter. It inspired me to create more revenue and cash flow in my business and in my life. Because I'm like, this is really fun. What else could I go do? And I saved for other things, and I've gone and done other things in my life since that time. So what is your purpose behind saving? You know, I got to tell this gentleman, like, if you're just saving to save, you're never going to save. But if you are saving to accomplish a dream and a goal and a plan, it is so much more inspiring. I got to piggyback this off a conversation that I just recently had with one of my Medicare clients. And this gentleman's done pretty well financially. Not crazy wealthy, but he has more money than typical in today's world. Most people in retirement, 64% of Americans are retiring with the worry of running out of money in retirement. And this gentleman's got a pretty good setup where he's like, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good for the next many, many years of my life. And we had some time. And so I asked this individual, I said, if you could share any piece of advice, and I said this to him, I'm asking this from a perspective of education on my end. I'm young, and I had one of my team members with me. He's young too. And I said, if you could educate us, what would it be? And he kind of sat up in his chair and he's like, pay yourself first. And I'm like, whoa. Okay, please expand. And he's like, well, look at it. Everybody goes throughout their life and they keep paying everybody else. They pay their rent or their mortgage. They pay their car payments. They pay all those things I've already talked about, right? And they pay everybody else. And at the end of the month, they have nothing left for themselves. They don't pay themselves. They are literally working for everybody else. Now I'm telling you guys, this is a blue collar gentleman. He worked in the oil field his whole life, had good paying jobs. But it wasn't like he was making multiple six figures. But he said, I always paid myself first. I had a specific setup that I would do, a percentage, and I would pay myself first no matter what. And he's like, and I kept things really cheap, especially when I was young, wasn't married, didn't have kids. He's like, I literally took everything extra that I could and also paid to myself as well. And I started my own investment accounts, and I started contributing a lot more to all these different things that I had going on. And he's like, I just built and built and built and built. And he said, then, I got my house. And I went crazy on that, got it paid off really quick. And he's like, now he bought the house for like $55,000 and now it's worth $300,000. And he's like, I paid it off a long time ago. Do you see how simple that is? Pay yourself first. I'm going to share a story with you because everything I'm sharing here, everything that I talk about financially, you guys, I'm no genius. I'm as ignorant as everybody. You guys, when my wife and I first got married, I didn't even have $1,000 in my bank account. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was struggling and I was sick of it. I wanted to learn what money was, how money works, and what to do with it. So I read and studied and watched and listened and learned everything that I could about money. Everybody online, everybody in books, everything that I could learn about money. And I come across this book, The Richest Man in Babylon. And in this, it said, pay yourself first. And I remember I was making less than $1,000 a month. And I remember my check was $890. It was like, I think it was $895. something like that, less than $900 that month. And I looked at this concept to pay yourself first, and I'm like, man, I got rent. My rent was $550. And my wife, I buying groceries and gas and all the other things that we got going on. How the heck am I going to do this? But I was like, okay, if I can't even manage this money, how am I going to get more? So I was like, I got to figure something out. And I said, I'm going to do something. And in my bank account, I had a money market account. And in that money market account, I got whatever interest rate it was. And there was nothing in there. I was out of money. We were brand new married. My wife had money, but it was only for school. She was going to college. She wanted to get her master's degree. It was only for school. So we both agreed that's not for groceries. That's not for nothing. And I said, okay, in this money market account that's in our bank account, I'm going to transfer $25. And I'm going to put that $25 in that bank account. And I have no freaking clue. I don't know, like $25, that was gas, that was some groceries, that was something. I'm like, I have no freaking clue how we're going to make it this next month. But I'm going to put that $25 in there. And I'm going to put this to the test. The richest man of Babylon, the whole concept of pay yourself first, I'm going to put it to the test and I'm going to try this. So I did. I transferred $25, paid rent, paid the other thing. We didn't have much expenses because we didn't have anything. And I did it. And we get to the end of that month and we made it. We bought the gas we needed to buy. We bought the groceries we needed to buy. We took care of everything that we needed to do. And I didn't notice that $25 gone. I was like, wow, that was interesting. I'm going to do it again. So I did it again the next month. $25. So now I got $50. Still, everything was fine. Did it again the next month. And again, and again, and again. Next thing you know, we have $100. We have $150. We have $200. Now, that might not seem like a lot of money, but when you don't even make $1,000 a month and you now have $100, $200, $300 building up in the savings account and you're watching it grow by $25 every month, it does something. And I literally started challenging myself. I'm like, could I do 30? So I did. Could I do 35? Could I do 40? Could I do 45? Could I do 50? At the same time, I would pay my bills, transfer the money, and I would forget about it. And I'd go back to work. And I'm like, how do I increase my income? And at this time, I had started my business that I'm sitting at right now. I started my business and I was working towards that and building towards that. And so it was a huge focus of how do I increase my income so I can increase the amount of money? Because I'm like, we're not making it now. I got to figure something else out. So long story short, everybody, I found out that it worked. This whole pay yourself first concept trained me and my wife that every time we get paid, we first pay ourselves. We pay ourselves, we pay our tithing, we pay our bills, we take care of all of those things. And we manage our finances every single month down to the dollar. We know where every dollar is going. We tell our money what to do. I have a spreadsheet. I put my wife's income in it. I put my income in it, all of our expenses, what's left at the end, and I manage that down to nothing. And I have this whole plan. And that all came from this concept of pay yourself first, because it kept growing and growing and growing. Our income grew. We increased the amount that we saved. Our income grew. We increased the amount that we saved. And this gave us opportunity when I wanted to start a business, when we wanted to build a house, when we wanted to buy a vehicle, when we wanted to have our first baby. When I bought that dirt bike, it literally gave us money that we could use. There was coaches that I hired or things that I did in my business. And I'm like, okay, we've got this money. I know how to manage this stuff. Let's execute it. Let's invest into ourselves. Let's take a little bit of risk because we know how to do this. We've got this money built up. Let's take that risk. Let's invest and expect to win and let's go for it. That concept of paying yourself first is the step of setting yourself free, because it puts you in charge of your money. When you spend your whole life or your whole week or your whole day and you take all of that money and just give it to other people, that's not inspiring. That's not motivating. You don't want to wake up on Monday and go to work. You don't want to do nothing because you're like, I'm literally in the same place today that I was a year ago, 6 months ago, 5 years ago. You're living in the same place. But when you flip that mindset, you're like, I'm going to pay myself first. And you just start doing that. And then you start learning, what should I do with this money? Where should I invest this money? What should I execute? What am I interested in? Do I want to buy real estate? Do I want to start a business? Do I want to learn a side skill or hustle or something, right? Well, then you take the money and you go buy the tools and the resources or the education, the knowledge, everything that you need. And now you can go. That's the biggest secret that I see. So many people, they want to start a business or they want to do things, but they don't have anything. They literally have nothing to take that risk or go do something with it. The best thing you could do is establish yourself in this opportunity of paying yourself first. And then you start building and building and building and exercise that muscle and create that habit. So every time you get paid, you pay yourself first and then go take care of your other things. The Richest Man in Babylon is the coolest book in teaching this concept. You really need to go read or listen to it. I started listening to it again this last weekend because I wanted to listen to it again. It's so good. I listen to this or read this book multiple times every single year. And every time I'm like, oh man, it's so good. Like I need to do this better or do this better. It's such a great tool, skill, and resource to develop within your own financial life. So to this gentleman on this that's talking, I mentally can't save money. Well, what do you want to do with it? What is your goal? What is your plan? What is it you want to accomplish? And are you paying yourself first? That's why I commented that. Like, you should pay yourself first because you're paying everybody else and you're not paying yourself. That's the secret. It's a massive secret to creating financial wealth and abundance in this life. Okay? So go do it. Quit putting it off. Quit procrastinating. Quit overcomplicating it. Quit overthinking it. Just freaking do it. That's literally all you got to do is go pay yourself first. Start with $25 a month. Forget these people that say you got to save 10% of your income and you got to do this and this and this and this. Forget that crap. Start with $25. Start with $5. Start with $10. Whatever. I did 25 because it was a little bit challenging, but I'm like, hey, I see the money, I can transfer, but it was still challenging. Like it wrecked my brain. I was like stuck on this and it challenged me, but then it worked. And then it challenged me again and it worked. And then I started challenging it. Said, could I do more? And it unlocked a lot of financial blockage that I had in my life. So go do it. Do the thing. Pay yourself first. Get to know your money. Manage your money. Become in charge of your money and set yourself free. You guys have the best day ever. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next week.